Fish is Tracy. I have a Hershey kiss in my mouth, and I'm wearing this shirt that says "Keep Calm and Be Merry," even though, you know, like, it's been a rough year, basically. It's 2016, rough year, but I'm no longer an undergrad, so that's pretty awesome. Tuesday was my last day, so. Yeah, graduated. Had my degree, but not, like, officially, because they take, like, years to send you the degree. Not years, but it takes a while. So, this is going to be a video where I talk about cards that I think work really, really well in Superfriends. I have the deck, and there are a couple ways to build it. A lot of people build it creatureless, so these are kind of like the sorceries, enchantments, you know, instants, artifacts, things that I think work really, really well in Superfriends. So, let's get started. So, the first thing is a creature which may or may not be your commander, Atraxa. Now, Atraxa is like, to me, hold on, let me move over a little bit. Atraxa is like really, really good as a commander, but I don't have her in there for a couple of, like, I don't have her as my commander. And the reason why is actually in here and why I'll talk about it. But Atraxa is super strong. Like, if you're not running her as your commander because you are running 5 color, she's super strong on her own. So she's a really good body. She's a 4/4. She's good flying, vigilance, death touch, and lifelink. Like, she's just an awesome creature. She's so good because she's really good on, you know, on attacks, really good on defense, because you really want things to protect your planeswalkers. So she's really good at protecting your planeswalkers. But then the best thing about her is that at the end step, you just get to proliferate. So, you know, the fact that your planeswalkers get an extra loyalty, which is just so, so good, just makes her really, really incredible, and she's just an amazing, amazing creature. Really love her. So, alright, let's get started with the rest of, or let's keep going with the rest of the cards. Then I have Cyclonic Rift, and Cyclonic Rift is so amazing, but it's really, really good in this deck because people are going to want to kill your planeswalkers, and again, if you're running a strategy where you don't have a lot of creatures, or you're running no creatures at all, and you win by other means, you do need things to make sure your opponents don't kill all your planeswalkers. So Cyclonic Rift is super good because the ability to bounce back all their things, they go in and they're like, ha, you've got nothing that you can do, you've got no creatures, let me swing out at all your planeswalkers. You're like, Cyclonic Rift, never mind. I think is really, really important in this deck. I had an open slot, and I was just like, I really need this card in there. Really need it. Okay. Now, you really do need board wipes in this deck, because let's be real here, again, you want you to have stuff. You don't want other people to have stuff, especially creatures, because you want to make sure that everyone's creatures die. So Merciless Eviction is so, so strong for that. I can't stress how much I love this card, how much I am playing Superfriends, and I'm like, you know what card I really need right now? Merciless Eviction. My two go-to cards are pretty much Bojuka Bog or, like, Merciless Eviction, or both. Like, I just need those, because I'm like, I need to exile things, I need things to be gone and be, you know, getting rid of. So, yeah, Merciless Eviction is, like, really strong. The fact that it exiles makes this card just absolutely incredible. Like, so good. So good. There's, like, very few, like, I like a lot of board wipes, but I love Merciless Eviction. It's just amazing. Okay, super staple in Superfriends. Super staple Superfriends. It's a lot of S's, alliteration. Okay. Is, the Chain Veil. Now, you really don't care about losing 2 life, because that ability is, you either have planeswalkers and you're activating that, or it's EDH and you have 40 life and you don't care. So you lose life, whatever. The fact that, you know, you can activate a loyalty, again, sounds amazing to me. This and Teferi, I talked about this in a Friday's feature cards, where I talked about this and Teferi have not an infinite combo, but there is a combo with this where you can do Chain Veil and Teferi a couple of times, so you can activate this in the Chain Veil multiple times. So you get your other planeswalkers. You use Teferi's minus, which is untap 4 target permanents. So you Chain Veil, Teferi, then you untap the Chain Veil, and then whatever other permanents you want, and then you get to activate the Chain Veil again. So it's just synergizes super, super well. It's Teferi. Yeah, Chain Veil is just really, really essential. Like, it's not an expensive card. It just belongs in, like, every Super Friends deck. It's amazing. Then we have Doubling Season. I don't know if I need to say anything about Doubling Season, but why I also really like Doubling Season, other than the fact that, you know, this plus Narset equals, you know, you probably win the game. You know, a lot of times it's fetch for this and then do that, and then Doubling Season, you know, Narset, Jace, like, Nicol Bola, like, it just, whatever. Honestly, like, whatever. There's some that, you know, you can't do it with because they come in with that loyalty and they don't get to ult right away, but, you know, let me tell you something, like, when you have Doubling Season on board, a lot of people just can't deal with it. Like, yeah, they can remove it, but if you Doubling Season and then another thing on the same turn, it's just game over. They're just really sad. They're sad panda bears. So, Doubling Season's awesome. But another reason why I really like it, and I really like it in my build, is because I have a little bit of token synergy going on. So I get double the amount of tokens, which is incredible. So, it's like not only, you know, do I get like, you know, off of, like, let me tell you, the best thing with Doubling Season is to have, like, Venser, and then to have Oath of Gideon, and then to blink that. So it's like you get double the amount of tokens, so you get, like, 4 tokens, but then you blink that with Venser. It's just so sweet. Oh my gosh, Doubling Season is incredible. Oh, I also forgot to mention that I'm not talking about the Oaths in this video, the Oaths, and I'm also not talking about Planeswalkers, because I have an entire video talking about the Oaths, and I have an entire video where I talk about some Planeswalkers, but I'm going to talk about more Planeswalkers because I love Planeswalkers, they're awesome. Okay, then we have Deploy the Gatewatch. Okay, let me tell you how amazing this card is and how you get such good value out of this card. So, you know, you're running 25, 30 Planeswalkers, whatever, you know, you look at the top 7. The fact that you pay 6 mana for this card, you're going to get value out of this, because let's be real here, the minimum Planeswalker costs 3, and that's Tybalt, and let's be real here, you're probably not playing that card. So you have, like, these other Planeswalkers that cost, like, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana, and you get the chance to have, like, 2 of those, you know, in that group of 7, which is incredible. So, you do that. I've gotten, like, Nicol Bolas's out of this. you get value because this card is 6 mana, and you look at the top 7, so you're gonna get, if you get 2 Planeswalkers out of this, say you get 2 that are 4, you know, it's just amazing value. And they're just going to the battlefield, like, this card is amazing. Absolutely 100% needs to go in, like, every Super Friends deck. So good. Okay, so this is the card that I was talking about, the reason why I am not switching to Atraxa Planeswalkers, Conflux. I can't, guys, I just can't bring myself to make Atraxa Planeswalkers because Conflux is in this deck. And I know it's one card, and Atraxa being commander would maybe potentially be better. But here's the deal, is Atraxa is sometimes good because you have to have Planeswalkers for her to work. Conflux is always good. Conflux is just a card that, like, you draw it and you're like, yo, sweet. I'll take 5 cards to my hand of every color. You get Merciless Eviction, you get Doubling Season, you get Fencer, Blossom Aside, like, whatever it is that you need, you get it. And with the way that this deck is, because it's so spread out, like, you're gonna find something at every color. Like, you just find everything that you need. Red is the only one that's a little bit weak in this deck. All the other colors are super strong. Like, I have a lot of really good staples, but red is usually just like Blossomous Act or Sarkenvil or Ralzarek. Those are, like, mainly the red symbols in there, because I took out Chandra, Pyromaster. I want to get the new Chandra, actually, for this deck. I think she's awesome. She's, like, the card draw, she does damage to the creature, she makes tokens, like, she's super cool. So, yeah, Conflux to me is just way too good of a card to pass up. I just think if you're doing 5-color Super Friends, you absolutely need this card in here. And, like, I think for a lot of people who are thinking of the route of Atraxa, like, Super Friends, like, maybe I'll do a video where I actually talk about, like, 4-color Super Friends versus 5-color. Maybe I'll do a video talking about that. That would actually be really cool. So, yeah. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that then, if I'm going to make that video. Okay, so then we have All Sun's Dawn, and, you know, I was talking to my friend Nate when he had this deck put together, and I got a lot of his cards from the deck. Like, I traded him something, and then I got a bunch of his cards from the deck, because he took it apart. And let me tell you something, All Sun's Dawn is, I think, a very strong card, because it's, like, 5 mana, but then you get back, like, something of each color. So, like, you know, oh, get back my bunch of Planeswalkers, you know, that were killed, because people are going to be killing your Planeswalkers. Like, I think it's just something in Super Friends you need to accept, is that people are going to kill them. Like, they're going to have more power on the board than you. You're not going to have an answer all the time. So, like, the fact that All Sun's Dawn is like, yeah, okay, no, like, I get my Planeswalkers back, just makes it really strong. Because a lot of people, like, are running, you know, Bajuka Bog and things like that, but the deck doesn't have, my deck doesn't have that much recursion, but Alston's runs one of them in there, and it's really strong. So, and then, you know what, I'll just talk about this card because they're a little bit similar. Creeping Renaissance, or Renaissance? Yeah, let me tell you, this card is situational, absolutely, but I do really like it because you're like, choose planeswalkers, and then you get back like 6 planeswalkers to your hand. This is actually one of the reasons why I think I need, this and Conflux, actually, because a lot of times I have too many cards in my hand. I think I really do need a Reliquary Tower in this deck. I didn't think that I would need it. Like, I was like, oh, I don't need a no maximum hand size, but I think I need to work that in there, because I just think this card is, like, super strong. So, yeah, and then it's got Flashback, too, and let's be real here, there are a lot of people who just forget that you have this in your graveyard, because, again, you're not really recursion that much in this deck, at least my build, and probably some other builds. You're just like, Flashback, get all my stuff back that you just killed. It's great. Okay, then we have Inexorable Tide. This is just so amazing. Like, cast a spell, cast a mana dork, cast a planeswalker, proliferate, you know, like anything you cast, you just, and it's so good, like, when you have so many cards in your hand, you're just like, cast, proliferate, cast, like, oh, so good, super awesome, I love it. I have a foil one too, oh man, this is so pretty, I love it. Okay, then we have Call the Gatewatch. Now, I understand that, you know, this is a card that, like, I don't draw, like, all the time, but I do really like this card. I found, like, when I draw it, I was like, yeah. I was like, I can get whatever I want. Did I perfect fit this entire deck? Hold up, I'm just, like, looking, and this is perfect fitted, and I'm like, did I perfect fit this entire deck? I don't remember doing that. Apparently I perfect fitted this entire deck, but I need better sleeves for this. Okay. I don't know when I did that, but apparently I did. Anyways, Call the Gatewatch. Yeah, so if you like, what I like about it is that it's a versatile card because your planeswalkers are diverse, so you get a planeswalker for whatever your demands are. Like, if you're running, like, my build doesn't run Ugin, and I know I should, I really need to pick up an Ugin. I will, at some point I will get one. So, like, the fact that, you know, if you really desperately need a board wipe, like, Ugin's right there. So, yeah, I think that's why I need to get Call, because I have Call the Gatewatch in there, so I definitely need Ugin. Problem is I don't know what to take out, because I think I need to take out my mana acceleration, because I actually think I have too much. A little bit. Only, like, a card or two. Okay, then we have Contagion Clasp. And, you know, this is a really interesting card. You know, it's, again, it synergizes really well with Teferi. If you're doing that whole, like, Teferi thing, untapped for target permanents, you know, this can be one of the things that you untap and you get to proliferate again, which is really good. It's definitely something that you do, it's mana intensive, you know, it's 4 mana to proliferate, but the fact that if you have, like, 4 planeswalkers on the board, getting a chance to activate their thing again, like, is just, giving them another counter, sorry, I misspoke. Giving them another counter is just so strong. And similarly to Contagion Clasp is Contagion Engine. And this is, again, it's very mana intensive. It's 6 mana. When it ETBs, you get -1/-1 counters on, I have this card in Japanese, so I'm trying to remember the word. I always forget the wording of this card. It gets a -1/-1 counter, I believe, to all of your opponent's creatures, or to one target opponent's creatures. And then you get to, when you 4 and proliferate, you proliferate twice. So, which is really, really, really incredible. Like, I remember a game where I just had this card and it was just, like, absolutely busted. Cards are very strong, again, very mana intensive, but really good. And the last card I want to talk about, and I feel like I should have talked about this before because it's kind of a no-brainer, is Chromatic Lantern. You're running Tricolor Super Friends for, I don't know why you'd run 3-color Super Friends. I feel like at this point you should be doing Atraxa, or, like, you should just be doing 5-color. Like, I don't know if you, like, 3-color, I have to see the build, but I feel like you should just be doing it because Atraxa is just incredible. So Chromatic Lantern is amazing. Like, if you're running 3, 4, 5, you need a Chromatic Lantern in your EDH deck. Like, there's just no questions. Like, you just need this card in there because it is gonna have your mana, it's gonna give you such better access to tapping your mana. This is a deck that, you know, there's some builds of 5-color decks or 4-color decks where it leans very heavy towards one color and then all the other colors are splashes. This deck is very interesting and unique in that there's a lot of stuff that's odd mana, like there's double white symbols, and then there's double black symbols, and it's a very weird sort of thing with your mana base. So you just want to make sure that you're getting enough stuff, basically. You want to make sure that you have enough access to your creatures and, you know, that you're, you know, getting all of the stuff that you want to do, and you don't want to be limited on your resources, on your mana. Like, it's just not good. And I mean, I feel like I'm thinking about the card. I don't actually have it physically here, but I do want to say Mirari's Wake, I think, is a really good option. I don't actually have this card for this deck, so I feel like I'm kind of a liar, but I do, it's on my list. Guys, like, I haven't been to my local game store in like months. Like, I haven't picked up any cards. I've had this deck and I literally haven't tweaked it at all. Like, I've tweaked one card, which was the Chandra for the Cyclonic Rift, so like, I haven't tweaked anything. So I've been like needing to get cards, so I'm gonna get cards in the future. I have to make like a list of magic cards that I need. So that's one of the cards that I want to get. One, your creatures got +1/+1, which, now, this may not be relevant every game, let's be completely honest here. Like, you're running a version that doesn't have creatures, or you're running a version like mine where I have a couple of mana dorks, and I have like tokens, and like that's it. But the fact that your things are a little bit stronger, really good on the defense, so that's awesome. And then on top of that, you know, the fact that your mana taps for any of the colors that produces, which is super, super strong. It's green and white, and I think, and I don't know, maybe it's just my build, but I have, like, my deck is primarily white, then green, then black, then blue, then red. I think that's the order that I go in, so the fact that it's, like, it hits on my two colors that I have a lot of, because green's, like, my mana acceleration, and then white is, like, my board wipes, basically. Like, that's how that goes. And then, like, white is, like, I mean, you have, like, all these incredible planeswalkers at white, like, you have Elspeth and, like, a Johnny. Yeah, so, yeah, that was it. I will be filming, definitely, another video talking about Superfriends, because, you know what, like, a lot of people commented on my, like, top 10 planeswalkers, and I was like, why did I do that? I was like, I should have just done, like, all the other videos that I do on my about EDH videos where I talk about, like, give a top 10 list. Like, I that was so stupid that I did that. I think I may just delete that video and just start all over, because, I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. I'll definitely want to tweak that. Like, that's something, like, after the holidays, I'm definitely going to be, you know, figuring that out. And also, if you've made it to the end of this video, I'll probably talk about this on another thing. After I post all my 12 days of MTGGoddess, I am going to be taking, like, probably a week break, just because I posted, like, 12 videos in a row. So I'm probably going to take, like, a week. I'm also, like, back in work, and I work at Victoria's Secret, and it's our semi-annual sale starting that week, so the store's just going to be nuts, and I'm working, like, crazy hours, so it's, like, you know, I've also just, like, finished up my degree, so I'm also, like, really exhausted, and I just kind of want, like, a massive nap and to play with a pile of kittens. So that's kind of like where I'm at mentally right now. So it's just been like super nuts. So I definitely am going to take like a week off just to kind of like chill, and maybe I'll like film videos in that time, because I'm not really doing anything other than working. But yeah. Okay, that was it. Talk to you guys later. Bye.